Hey everyone, just thought I'd do a quick update on some things I've done in the garage lately. Start with the welding table. It used to be expanded metal on the top. It's Princess Auto one, it's supposed to be portable, folds up. But I found with the expanded metal on top, welding small things, they would fall through, or just all sorts of crap would fall through. So I had a sheet of 1/4 inch plate that I had for about 5 years sitting around, meant to make a welding table out of it. So I cut it down and spent about 3 hours with a flat disc and grinding discs, everything known to man to grind this flat, make it smooth. Wiped it down with WD-40 so it doesn't flash rust, and it's great. Doesn't add enough weight to the table that it's going to bend the legs or anything. It's really sturdy and strong. I can give it a good wiggle. Another thing I did was I bought a locker online. I paid 50 bucks for it. It was all gray and beat up and scratched and stuff, and I sanded it down, straightened it out, painted it red, so it'd go with the toolboxes. And it's just a place to keep I didn't paint the inside, so it's kind of ugly when I open it. I'll do that at another time, but it's a place to put my coveralls, a hat, my welding shirt. Keeps them out of a dusty, dirty environment from overspray, because I do paint in the garage. I put a cam lock on it, just don't know why, not like anybody's going to steal anything, but it's easier than putting a padlock on there. So it turned out pretty nice. I got a couple of runs in the paint on the side. I was going to sand them down and redo it, but it's good enough for what it is. It looks good, I think. I like it. Let me step back here. Yeah, I just have enough room. Had to move the 3 roller cabs over about 4 inches and still left enough room for the grinder on the stand there. So yeah, room is getting pretty tight in here. I don't have much. I used to have a big pile of lumber right here left over from the shed, but I put all the scraps outside, and it can be used for firewood or whatever, and all the good usable pieces I cleared out over here and stuck them between the wall and the cabinets. This desiccant air dryer I used for painting worked awesome, kept all the moisture out of the lines, out of the gun, out of the paint. My little flammables garbage can for oily rags and stuff so they don't burst into flames and burn the shop down. What else is new? Spare tire for my car. Some bed frame angle iron I'm welding up into tables with expanded mesh tops. It's going to be 2 coffee tables and 2 end tables and a coffee table, sorry. I've got this, my wife was throwing away this little, it's a heavy duty cardboard filing box, but I rescued it from the garbage, and I've got some new LED lights that I got from IKEA of all places. 1800 LM, whatever, lumens. I haven't tried them out yet, but the 1800 should be pretty good. They were like 10 bucks a piece on sale. I've got 4 of them to try it out. I've got 6 light bulbs in the shop here. There's 6 outlets with 2 light bulbs each. Got those duplex dividers on them. It's hard to see in the camera with the camera on, and you just see a bright light. As you can see, it keeps it pretty bright in here. Right now in those ones I've just got some incandescents, and you can see the difference compared to the compact LEDs. One of those is burnt out, so I'm going to put all 4 in that end towards the back of the garage and see how they work, and if I like them, I'll put them in the other ones. They're supposed to last 25,000 hours or something, which to me seems good. I don't know a whole lot about LED lighting, but they seem to be alright. Good for the price anyway. I also noticed my fire extinguisher, when I was cleaning things up, is expired probably about 2 years ago, and it's starting to lose the charge a little bit if you look at the gauge. Hold on a second. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, see, it's gone out of the green now. So I'll have to pick up another one of those. I'd like to get 2 or 3 of them. A couple for the garage, like we have a couple in the house. So I'd like to get a couple for the shop here and keep one in my vehicle. Because if any of you have ever had a vehicle fire, you know how scary it is and how quick it gets out of control. I was driving home. I picked up a motorcycle from a friend's place and out at the back of the truck and was driving home across country. And all of a sudden my the headlights went out. This was in the evening time. And all I could see was an orange flickering glow coming from under the dash, and turned out my dash was on fire. I was able to get it out, but it burnt the heck out of everything and I ended up scrapping the truck. Another thing I got in the garage that handy as heck, I have the laptop. The internet reception it picks up from the house over there, which is only like 15 feet away. The wireless internet is really crappy. It's an old computer, that could be part of it. But I have this Polaroid tablet that my mother bought me as a gift, I don't know, at least, Jesus, 5, maybe 8 years ago. And I never used it, but it works awesome in the garage. Let me see, I'll just turn it on here. The internet signal, I can wander halfway around the block and it picks up the wireless net. And it's great for when I'm out in the garage, if I need to look something up, check emails. I can do that on my phone, of course, but this is a little bigger and makes it easier to see on the old eyes. Mostly I use it up for looking up OBD2 codes. I'll just run my cheap little code scanner over here, look up the codes, what they are on the tablet, and I mean, I found out on my SUV that I know the ABS light has been on for a long time, and I removed the fuse so the pedal wouldn't pulsate. And it's the speed sensor, one of the, what are they called, the wheels on the CV axle. It's not coming to me right now. Anyway, I looked and one of those is cracked, so I'll have to replace that. I'm going to have to replace the CV axle soon anyway. So it'll be fixed when I do that. But yeah, this little tablet's just great for what it is. I don't remember, I think I bought this at some clearance place for like $100 or something, and it works really well. It's a little slow to load things, but that's fine for me. Anyway, that's about it. Yeah, I cleaned the garage out today. It was getting really messy in here, and as you can see, there's some red paint overspray on the floor, some white paint from when I painted something else. I mean, it's a working garage. It's not a showpiece with, you know, tile floors like some people have, and their tools never get used other than to be polished. So as long as the floor is swept clean, I don't mind. I don't mind overspray or oil stains. That's actually power steering fluid. I had a horrible power steering fluid leak for the longest time. Finally got around to fixing it, but as you can see, it left a bit of a stain on the garage. More red paint on the floor. Just various stains. I had an old floor jack right there that was leaking oil. It doesn't really matter to me. Just sweep it up, make it usable. I mean, I don't want one of those tile floors or those race deck ones. Say, you know, you weld on them and the splatter gets on the floor, melts the plastic floor, looks terrible. And all the epoxy floors I've seen get scratched. And at this point it's too late for epoxy. Your floor has to be pretty much spotless for the epoxy to stick permanently. And like I said, it's more of a working garage than a showpiece, so I'd rather have it like this and not have to worry about it. You know, everything's in its place and gets used. So, I mean, you walk into the most auto shops and their floors aren't pristine. This is not bad. I had it when they did it at, it's almost a polished floor. It doesn't give off much concrete dust, but it's good. Anyway, just thought I'd update you with the locker, give someone an idea. It works. It just came to me. I was going to build a locker, and then I thought, oh, I'll go online. So I put an ad on Kijiji, which is like Craigslist in the United States, looking for a locker. And I had numerous people contact me wanting from anywhere from $100 to $40. And this one was $50. I picked this one because it was close to me. Wanted a full length so the coveralls would fit in there. And I got it, and like I said, brought it home, hammered out some dents, sanded it. I didn't do any filler work or any fine work. It's a locker, for goodness sakes. And just sprayed it. I used the Princess Auto HVLP gun. And it was alright. I don't think I'd spray in a car with it, but it's not bad. I mean, if you look at the finish on it, it's pretty good. It's not bad at all. It lays down paint good, alright. But I've definitely worked with better guns. I used to paint cars and boats for a living. And what I used to paint it was just trim-clad fire red. Very thick. I had to thin it down about 50-50 with acetone. And it just dried overnight. And like I said, it turned out really well, except for, you know, if you can't even really see them. I see them because I'm looking for them. My wife couldn't see them. So there's some runs on the side, or not really runs, but a sag. But like I said, the wife couldn't see it. It's just me can see it, but you can see the reflection. It's not bad for just a quick spray with a cheap spray gun and trim-clad paint. Let's see if I can get a good reflection. Yeah, so you can see the windows and the flags above the workbench. So it laid down pretty flat. There's some dust in the paint. I didn't bother wetting down the floor when I painted it because again, it's a locker. I wasn't going to go through all that trouble. And it's not bad at all. I've done some pretty good paint jobs in garages. You know, you blow everything out, wet the floor down, let everything settle for about an hour or so, then come in and spray after you've tacked and cleaned everything, and you don't get a whole lot of dust at all. Just like I said, make sure there's no air blowing around, make sure your furnace is off, the floor is wet down what you can, cover what you don't want to overspray, although there's not a whole lot of overspray with the new HVLP guns. I'm used to using the pressure pot style, and that's what I grew up painting with. This gun has done more than a few cars, and it's a great gun, but it creates a lot of overspray and uses a lot more paint. It took about a quarter cup, which is maybe 4 to 6 ounces to do this locker. So it's very economical, little overspray, and it lays down a nice finish. It just takes a little while to getting used to that paint in the gun. I'd never sprayed trim clad before, and that's the first time using that gun, but I think it turned all right. I mean, the front part of it has absolutely no runs. It's the one I concentrated on getting right, and it came out good. It's a little bit darker than the toolbox, but I found that trim clad fire red is pretty close. I've repainted a couple toolboxes that I sold before with it, and it looks good. Anyway, thanks. I did manage to, when I was putting on the cam lock, I don't have a drill bit. It's 5/8 size hole. So I drilled the hole as big as I could get it, and then I had to take a die grinder and grind it out to make the lock fit. And then I set the die grinder down on my bench here, and it burnt a hole through it. It pisses me off too. I don't know what I'll do, fix that or just leave it. If I leave it, it's probably going to get worse. And also the locker door itself is pretty thick. So I had to kind of, don't know if you can see that much. Yeah, I had to dent it in a little bit to make it be able to fit the lock in and put the nut on the other side. And the cam on this side, if you don't know, yeah, you can see it. I had to grind down this edge a little bit so the lock would fit. But it locks good. Works good. I'm pretty happy with it. For 50 bucks, 10 bucks worth of paint, had the acetone. Took maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to sand it and prep it and everything else. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It looks good. And like I said, it's a good place for the coveralls and welding coat. And I got a hat in there. I think I got some hats in there. Don't really wear hats, but people give them to me. A Snap-on hat, part source, auto shop in Mexico where a friend of mine works. Mirror, remote alarm button for the garage alarm. Anyway, that's about it. This video is getting a bit long. Sorry, I don't mean to bore you. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like, a comment, it'd be nice. Have a great day. It's the weekend. I hope your weekend's going good. And take it easy.